Okay, please. Just close your eyes, please. So, friends, can you hear backside? You can hear clear? Okay. Yes, don't worry. We have been discussing on this idea about the conditioning. And what exactly this conditioning is. We can ask ourselves, please see, the whole creation of which our body is an inseparable part. Our body doesn't exist independent of the five elements. It's a natural, inseparable part of the creation. The elemental universe, natural, and it is not conditioned in any particular way. In a sense, space is space, never behaves any other way. Air is air, fire is fire, water is water, earth is earth. Wherever it is, that is how it is. So also, the objects that are made out of these five elements, like the whole creation, beginning from unicellular organism to multicellular organism to plants, fish, aquatic animals, amphibians, land animal, aquatic animal, birds, land animals big like elephants and others, including human beings. They are also same, part of the nature. But if we shall see, because of the climatic conditions, because of the seasonal changes, though the space, air, fire, water, earth remain the same, the trees go on changing. Different types of landscapes. In the desert landscape, there are no big trees, not even a blade of grass. If you go into the snow peaks, snow fields of polar region, South Pole, North Pole, Arctic Circle, not even a plant, nothing can grow. And very specific animals, those who can survive in that atmosphere. Then you have got the river valley, Indo-Gangetic plains, Danube, whatever, Rhine, Amazon, so many different types of landscapes. Animals also vary. The same bhalu, bear, in India, sloth bear, dark color. If you go into America, grizzly bear, brown, big ones. You go into polar region, polar bear, totally snow white. So animals also go on changing depending on the landscape. Also human being. Pigmentation changes. In India it is brown. Go into China, Mongolia, other places they are like yellow. Then go into Caucasian, white. Go into Africa, dark. So, we human beings we are. But because of the pigmentation, we are black, white, brown, yellow. Sometimes some human beings albino, pure white, no color as such. Same thing sometimes animals also go albino, pure white. So if you look at it, nature also conditions. But in all these conditioning, no conditioning is harmful, it's beautiful. Only in one place, human being, there is a possibility of the individuality, which you have seen. The creation, unconscious, jada. Then semi-conscious, like the touch-me-not, a flower or some microbes, semi-conscious. Then if you look at the birds and animals, which include human being also, conscious. But the human beings, among all these conscious animals, only human being can be self-conscious. So many times I have repeated, and I hope you have grasped that word, what it means to be self-conscious. Because English, you understand the word self, you understand the word conscious. Self-conscious you understand. But do you really understand? Self-conscious means what? The elephant is conscious, but is not conscious of his own power. That is such a massive animal. It can destroy anybody, but it can fall a victim to 3-4 lions. Hundreds of Cape buffalo, those who are really big and powerful, 1,000 tons, they can kill any number of predator animals like groups of lions. But helplessly they look on when a lion is jumping on a Cape buffalo. 1 or 2 of them. Sometimes they get worked up and the lions will learn the lesson of their life. Never they will come again. But they forget. Animals also forget. That is because they are not self-conscious. The buffalo is very strong, but is not self-conscious. Whereas in case of the human being, you are self-conscious, meaning you know your weakness, you know your strength, And also you know, which is most, it can be a blessing and a huge curse, very manipulative. You can use your strength to advantage and you can fall a victim of it, it will become to your disadvantage. You can use your weakness to advantage and your weakness can be a disadvantage. This is I thought. And this is only human being who suffers in the life. Conflict. Shall I do? Shall I not do? Can I do? Can I not do? I am so small. I am so big. Comparison, contrast. Only the human being can suffer because of the possibility that I thought, the individuality. And in the whole universe, the gross, tangible, manifest, elemental universe, there is absolutely no conditioning. You cannot condition the unconscious expanse. You cannot do that. They are not there to learn anything. They are not there to be influenced. So the unconscious universe, 5-element universe, including your body, is innocent, shall remain innocent. You cannot confuse that. Since you have been listening to these things, so the grosser than the grossest tangible universe remains unaffected, untouched by the relative conditionings, small, big, powerful, less powerful, conscious, unconscious. These discourses do not take place for the whole universe, including your body. And if you talk to the human being, perception there, you see the flower, true to the perception, thought is there. The eyes can perceive, report, but eyes do not know. They can only see. Every word you must feel it. Eyes can only report, see. Like ears can report the sound, listen to the sound. But ears do not know. Seeing, touching, tasting, smelling are different sense perception. But these sense organs which are sensing have no capacity of knowing. A thought cannot be sensed. Your memories cannot be sensed, meaning ears can't hear, skin cannot touch, tongue cannot taste, nose cannot smell, eyes cannot see. But they can be known. So clearly understand the distinction and the division between knowing and sensing. I know. When you say, I know the flower. With your eyes you sense the flower. Eyes don't know it. When you say know, it is in the matters of thought. When you say know the flower, the object flower has become a thought in your head, and that thought is known. And once you say you know the thought, you know the object of the thought through the eyes. So you know the thought of the object, you know the eyes which reports the object, and of course you know the object. But at no time, without the eyes, you can sense the flower. You understand, it's very, very important. If you grasp it, you are instantaneously wise. Sense organs cannot know, and eye of the eyes, consciousness cannot sense. Sense organs are meant for divisive perceptions. Consciousness is meant for universal awareness. As simple as that. Consciousness cannot divide, because sense organs only can divide. Are you getting that point? The whole creation is there. You can be conscious. Consciousness everywhere. But to see the divisions, the sense organs must be there. That is why it is so beautifully, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam iva cha sthitam. Hey Arjuna, who you are, avibhaktam cha bhuteshu, bhuteshu bhavanditi bhutani, that which is always subject to change and becoming, in and through the whole changing universe, gross as well as the subtle thoughts, avibhaktam, you are undivided, indivisible, pure consciousness. Vibhaktam ivacha sthitam, existing as though divided. Because you say I say I, we look as though we are divided. In reality, consciousness is not divided. Our bodies are apparently divided, though the same elements, they are apparently divided. Sense organs are divided. Sense organs are meant for reporting apparently divided perception. So the sense organs cannot see the unity of the universe. Sense organs only can perceive the divisions. That is why oneness, understanding the oneness is not a sensation or a sense perception. However, you may say, Brahmaivaham idam jagatcha sakalam chinmatra vistaritam, you can chant it, repeat it. Brahmaivaham, I am Brahman. Idam jagatcha sakalam, this the whole macrocosmic universe, chinmatra vistaritam, only consciousness alone is existing. When you speak it, the truth of it you can be known, aware, being one with the consciousness. Your eyes cannot see the one all-pervasive consciousness. Your ears cannot hear it. Your tongue cannot taste it. Touch cannot smell it. Are you getting that point, friends? Very, 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 very clear. That is why people find it difficult, because they try to see with their eyes the oneness. They want to see the oneness is like a physical perception. How do I see that? How do I know that consciousness is everywhere? You don't know consciousness. That is why I find it difficult to understand what consciousness is everywhere. If you grasp, which the sense organs cannot grasp, neither your thoughts can grasp it. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasha, where from the words return along with the thoughts. Nobody has access to the universe. Listen carefully. Why? Because you are already in the consciousness. Nobody has access to the consciousness is not that therefore it completely makes it impossible for you. No. You don't have access because you are already a part of it. So if you want to reach it, you shall remain with an idea that you are different from it. That is why the more you struggle, the more you fail. And that awareness, consciousness, cannot be conditioned. Unconditioned awareness. That is why even if you say, I am this thought, in which two things are there, I, the consciousness, and the thought. The thought is unconditioned. Consciousness, unconditioned. I see the thought, I am conscious, this I fellow. Only one thought in the universe can be conditioned. Think of it. See it. There is nothing to think about it. Just see. I'm just presenting the things exactly as it is. Gross, tangible universe cannot be subject to conditioning. They cannot behave any way other than who they are. Space is space, air is air, fire is fire, water is water, earth is earth, body is body all the time. Changing, growing, body is not affected. Deho amiti, deho na bhakti. Body doesn't say, I am the body. Deho na janati. Body doesn't know. Sense organs do not see. Eyes do not say they see. Ears don't say they hear. Tongue doesn't say it tastes. No sense. Consciousness illumines it all. And it has no language of its own to say, I illumine the universe. Like the space doesn't say, I accommodate the universe. The body doesn't say, I am alive. The sense organs do not say, I see, hear, taste, touch. Thoughts do not say, we are the pictures of things that are seen, heard, tasted, touched. The consciousness doesn't say anything whatsoever, illumines it all. In all these things, only one thought, I. If you do not get it, God bless you. Who speaks? Who owns of the perception? Who owns of the sensation? I see, I hear, I touch. What has happened is, this conditioning is possible only for the human beings, that the human child, the moment he is born, the moment he is conceived, he is absolutely innocent. The body is growing in the womb, innocent. The moment he is born, also innocent. Then the parents celebrate the arrival of the baby. And with all love and affection, they give it a name. The nameless innocence loses itself to one name. And that one name does what? You think for yourself what it does. It completely limits you from the nameless infinite expanse to one name. Just one name. If you don't have a name, you are part of the universe. If you have a name, that's your name, the name of your body. When nothing is named, it's all part of the nameless. And even after naming, listen carefully. Who claims this is my name? The body was given a name called Ram or Hari, Sita, Lakshmi. Take male, female, any name you like. This body was named. That is why when the body is alive and you go to hospital, everybody will say, Ram has been admitted into hospital yesterday. It so happened this fellow died. Nobody shall tell where Ram is coming home, when the body coming home. What happens to Ram? Think of it. And who says, I am Ram, I am Hari, I am Sita, I am Lakshmi, or put in any other name, any other type of names from every other tradition also. Indian name, American name, Jewish name, it doesn't matter, sir. That is why every object has got Sahasranama, 1,000 names. If there are 1,000 languages, there are 1,000 names. But all the names point out only the nameless. Before a name was given, it was existing, and existing as the part of the nameless universe. Who assumes the name? You have named it tiger. Tiger doesn't know about it. You named it snowfield, desert, mountains, ocean, none of them know about it. You named them tiger, lion, all that stuff, shark, whales, aquatic animals, birds, eagles, flying things, microbes, beautiful. Why did you name it? For our communication. Naming is needed. That is why I don't say conditioning is bad. Giving it a name means you are associating it with a form. Listen, friends, have to grasp it. You are associating an object with a name, meaning you have not taken away. Nameless it remains, but a name is given. The name doesn't take away the nameless reality of the nameless object. That is why no name sticks to it. That is why it can take 1,000 names. Same thing. I say full in Hindi, pushpam in Sanskrit, pu in Tamil, phulo in Odia, flower, whatever thing you like. And am I knowing all the languages? In every language this object has a name, but it remains nameless. And these names, who is grabbing? I. Catch that. Who is grabbing this name? I know. Who says that? I know it's a flower, English-speaking person. So it's an English I. मेरे को मालूम है, मैं जानता हूँ, मेरे को हिंदी I. Just like this flower has 1,000 names, the I thought also, how many names? How many names? In yourself it has got so many other identities. Millions. Does it therefore lose its eternal sense of namelessness? You have been given a name. Unconsciously you have swallowed it and assumed a name. By assuming a name, you have forgotten the nameless that you are. What is given to you, it is not with you. Because you have not changed even after the name is given, there is a hope of returning to the source, the nameless that you have been, you were, you are, you shall be. See the beauty of it. And only one, that one thought, can get conditioned. Individuality, I. You can train a tiger, you can train a hippo, you can train any animal or a bird, but they shall never say, we have changed. No. It will be confused. A domesticated animal, if you leave it in the jungle, he will die. Because you have taken away his natural instinct and given him that food reaches him instead of he reaching the food. So he shall die. He will wait for the dinner to be served. Why the dogs become unusually fat? When the owners are fatso, the dog will be fat. In wilderness, you shall never see fat animal. If they are to be fat, because they are fat. There is no thin elephant. Models. Model elephant are ரொம்ப thin. In nature, everything as it is. Without a human interference, nothing shall be confused. human being confuses himself, confuses everybody else. So see that conditioning applies only for the human being, because gross universe cannot be conditioned. Thoughts by themselves are not a conditioning. Consciousness, just forget it. Only one person can be conditioned, I. What is this conditioning? The I assuming, listen carefully, I assuming everything, what all it has, and it never knows what it is. You are given a name and you say, I am the name. This is conditioning. Body is mortal, you say, I am mortal. Body is fat or lean, I am fat or lean. You have been told him, you are the body. The body is fat, you are fat. Body is a boy, you are a boy. Body is a girl, you are a girl. Body is transgender, you are a transgender. This is conditioning. You are in reality unconditioned. Our beginning is unconditioned. That is why we can go back to ourselves. Yatha agata, tatha gata. As you come, that is how you go back. This language was not created by a religion. So don't say this religion, that religion and all that stuff. Think of it. The reality, that is the truth, that should be the truth of every religious tradition, unfortunately is stuck in the languages of many kinds, forms of many kinds, names of many kinds. We shall see that, friends. So it's the I thought only which gets conditioned. It has to be. Listen carefully. The I has to be trained. Imagine a child also, like in a forest. Sometimes the children, some child is taken up by the wolves. Sometimes they live in the forest and they jump from tree to tree, run on the field like animals, because they don't know they are human beings. It has happened. The children, some one or two are rescued from the forest like that. It is natural. It is like the eagle, baby, if you put him along the chickens, it will only walk, it will not fly, because he doesn't see anybody flying around. If the chickens are all running, running, so he will also start running. He will not fly. Human beings need to be conditioned. It's absolutely essential. Please think of it. And when you do that, you have to introduce him to the relative world. Understand, there are two dimensions. The nameless, formless, absolute. The names and forms, relative tradition, relative dimensions. It's a relative world. Listen carefully. From our own identity, we can grasp it. If I ask you, first look at your behavior, you can recognize it. If I ask you, who are you? You shall say, I am Ram or Lakshmi, whatever. In relation to your name, you are Ram, Lakshmi. Without name, who you are? Absolute. In relation to your body, you are a man or a woman. Gender. From your own self, absolute, no gender. No masculine, no feminine, no neuter. Listen. In relation to your body, fat, lean, obese, weak, healthy. Always understand, every relative identity is in relation to something. You cannot make it easier. Your every relative identity is in relation to something. That is why if you feel affected by your roles, you are an absolutely dunce. Because Batula Kim, are you mad? Nasti Niyanta, there is no teacher for you. How beautifully Shankara writes. Batula Kim, are you mad? Tava Nasti Niyanta, Kahate Kanta, Dhanagata Chinta, Batula Kim Tava Nasti Niyanta. Who is your husband? Who is your wife? These are relatives. Because you are existing, therefore you relate. Or because you relate, therefore you are existing. What to do, sir? This knowledge is inescapable. Whatever you touch, it will come. Kate Kanta, who is your wife? Who is your husband? Who is your father? Mata nasti, pita nasti, nasti bandhu sahodaraha. It's not a denial of anything. Understand, these are the relative identities you have. If you take the relative identity to who you are conditioned. Absolute, unconditional. You as you are, unconditional. No name, no form, no relationship, no father, no mother, no guru, no shishya. Even can to go to an extent which is little atyukti, meaning you better be careful, even no God, no disciple, devotee. Only one conscious. Absolute. One absolute. Formless. But that doesn't make you arrogant or exclusive, because everybody is same. How beautiful. But that one is introduced to the relative world. And listen carefully. The moment you are relative world you are introduced to, you know what will come? Dharma, adharma, right, wrong, papa, punya, evil, virtuous, vice, virtue, left, right, healthy, unhealthy, beautiful, ugly, form, formless, limited, limitless. Understand, you cannot escape the relative dimensions. And you shall be lost in that. I will quote a verse from Mahabharata. Whatever you listen to it, think over or not, this fellow works overtime. God's grace, so many things you have studied, Guru's blessings, tradition's blessings, so many things are there. What comes to my mind is nothing. What is not coming is enormous. That itself is very humbling. See how the conditioning works. In Mahabharata it comes. Tyajam dharmam adharmam cha ubhe satyanrute tyaja ubhe satyanrute tyaktva yena tyajasi tatyaja. Tyaja dharmam adharmam cha. Give up. What is dharma and adharma? I'll explain it very clearly. Whole morning has gone on to that. Ubhe satyanrute tyaja. Give up both satya, truth, and anrutam, falsehood. What is true, what is false. Ubhe satyanrute tyaktva. By giving up both, yana tyajasi tatyaja. Give up that by which you are giving up everything. Listen carefully, friends. This concept of dharma, adharma, satya, anruta, good, bad, left, right, these relative considerations, understand. These are the relative considerations. It depends upon a point of reference. It depends on the presence of an individual. Listen carefully. We are sitting down here. I extend my left hand and ask you, what is this side? You shall say, my left side. But for you, right side. My right side is your left side. My front is my front wall is your back side. Your front wall is my back side. So left, right, front, back, up, down. Will the space understand that language? Space which is all pervasive, will it understand that language? I hit myself. Good or bad? If I am doing it myself, what shall you say? He will try doing it, let him do it. But suppose I give you one. Slapped me, touched me. Without my permission, he touched me. Shoot. Dharma, adharma, right, wrong. Listen carefully. Helping somebody is good. Killing somebody is bad. Helping somebody live is good. These considerations, only to a human being you can give. You cannot teach the tiger, killing is bad, then what shall he eat? Grass. And even a human being, listen carefully, if it comes to kill or be killed, what shall you do? Be kind, even when you are being killed. Think. In the relative world and the relative human world, you cannot escape these conditions, and therefore conditionings which to tell you that by which everybody is benefited is a good conditioning. That by which you are destroyed and everybody destroyed, that's a bad conditioning. Don't drink alcohol. Let us say, just an example. Don't drink alcohol. Why? It is possibility of everybody being alcoholic, therefore don't drink alcohol. Now, then what you are doing? You are making alcohol as bad. If you know how much you can drink, like especially in a country like Europe, which is most of the time under the 5-6 months a year, or go to Arctic Circle, almost 10 months a year it is what is that, snow. What will they drink? Water. The fellow has to drink that. Listen carefully. Alcohol doesn't make you alcoholic. You go on drinking, I like it, I like it, I like it. The tongue tastes in a particular way, I like it, I want it more. So who makes you alcoholic? Alcohol makes you alcoholic, or your drinking makes you alcoholic? See that world all over. If in the Eskimo country you are alive, you have to drink blood, eat animals, chew the, leather, live inside igloo. We are putting bricks, mud bricks, they will put ice bricks. Just think. What will be their dress habit? What will be their food habit? Which is unthinkable for a person who is living in a river valley civilization. The person lives in a desert. Bedouins. What a dress they should have. Top to toe cover. Any time there can be sandstorm. Lifestyle, friends, depends upon the climate, landscape, availability of water, the heat, all these things. But how quick we are to dismiss everybody, condemn everybody, eating too much. How can you eat those things? Who is talking? You go and live there in Eskimo country for a few months and you have to live and you will not be allowed to vomit and eating that food and die. What shall you do? Very quick we are. Why? Because the I is alive in his personal universe. My body is in this place. This is a nice place, very beautiful. These thoughts are nice. So what you get used to? The society in which you are living in. The climate that in which you are living in. You put on the dress that is comfortable for your body in this climate. I think other people are overdressed or undressed. Aborigines in African continent, Asian continent, they can afford to be naked. By chance there are some people in the Arctic Circle, will they be naked? They will cover their body. Why? So hot, it's so cold. Whew. They have to find out ways, kill the animals. If they see the animals are dressed up, kill them, take their leather, hide and cover your body. Your kindness to animals goes through your hunger and your necessity. Think of it, friends. In the relative world, this is what will happen. Automatically, dharma considerations will come. For your sake, if somebody is suffering, adharma. If for your sake nobody is suffering, dharma. Nice. You don't want to be killed, so you don't kill. So, jiva hatya, killing is not good. But this is not an absolute statement. It's a relative statement. The same person will be living in a forest, the temperate climate, he will not kill anybody. The same person goes into the ocean, he has to kill. Into the Arctic Circle, he has to kill. No choice. It comes to living, sir, understand? Just like the pigments make you white, black, brown, climates make you what to eat, what not to eat. Availability. So naturally the customs and traditions will vary from place to place. What is dharma for you shall be adharma for somebody. Simple example to take, instead of complicated life and death, road travel. In Indian, today we may take a little more time also, okay, doesn't matter. In the road travel, in India, left side is right, right side is wrong. You should be always walk on the left side of the road. Either left side or right side, but the joke, not in the middle, suicide. Don't go that way. In Australia, when you go to Europe, right side is right side, left side is wrong side. What do? What is illegal for you in India is very legal for them in Europe. Here it is so hot. Understand? So you are dressed very frugal, which somebody told about Gandhi, half-naked fakir, like a beggar. When he was putting on a dhoti, not even knees hiding. Because they are top to toe, dressed up. And if it is Eskimo, only nose is available. So what is the tradition of greeting in Eskimo country? Nose rubbing. Because that is the only part available to rub. Which one is good tradition? Why people who are lost in local places, regionalism, that parochialism comes and where the fellow has not crossed his village, not crossed his house. So in our country, we behave this way. In our country, in my village. What is this caste system? Have you seen a child born with some caste mark? Religious, sort of insignia, symbols? Nothing. But what do you do? By birth. Strong conditioning. If a child born with a faith, you push that faith into him. Which one? Whatever is your faith, you give it to the child. That is how conditioning is continued. The real tradition is which helps you to condition, to go beyond the condition. Relative identities have to be picked up so that it takes you back to the absolute that you are. Because I thought can be given thousands of identities. You don't have to give it, it will pick up also. It picks up. And then it is tired. It must know about itself. Who is tired in this creation? The creation is not tired, the body is not tired, sense organs are not tired, thoughts have no conflict, consciousness forget it, only I thought. And why this I thought is tired? Tired of dragging the limitation onto himself or being unnecessarily proud for nothing. Body is hungry, I am hungry. Body is full, I am so full. What is this? You are tired of excitement, tired of sensations, and you are tired of not fulfilling the sensation. Who demands to touch something? Skin demands. Who demands to listen music? Ears demand. Who goes for sightseeing? The eyes demand. I thought, I want to go sightseeing around the world. I want to listen to the music of different kinds. I want to touch so many things, so many people, so many animals. I want to smell so many different flowers. Who? Do you understand or very difficult, sir? Who creates your problem? No, my father only told. Yes, your parent told you to eat one food. But by now, how many you have picked up? When you go to school, college, university, it is much beyond your parents. You come across thousands of different people. And especially today's information revolution. You know what the Italians eat, what Eskimos eat, what the Aborigines eat, what Africans eat, what Indians eat, what New Zealanders eat, everything you know. Why do you want to go to different parts of the world? Now you want to go to moon also, Mars also. Who does it? Five generations back, did people thought of going to moon? Your world is expanding, conditioning becoming stronger. Thus walking is not enough, cycling is not enough, motorcycle is not enough, car is not enough, Bugatti, the ultimate 4, 6, 8 crores car. A boat is not enough. With the plantain body, with the plantain, that plantain plants. 4 or 5 you stick it up and you float. River you go for fishing. Village we were doing that. Now, plantain, logs of wood, submarine, floating, massive, 10-story building, cruise ship around the world. Climate controlled. Wherever you go, 30 degrees. Who did it? I. And this I, think friends, different religions, different traditions, different types of right and wrong. In one tradition, look in one direction and pray. Another direction you pray. In one direction, killing is okay. Another tradition, killing is not okay. Suppose you tell to the Bedouins, you tell to the Eskimos, you should not kill. Even if you go there, you will not be there to preach because you will die. So certain religions are based on sacrifice, kill. They can't stop killing. They can't stop drinking. Think of it, think of it. If you really want to do something universal, then bring in the universal identity. Universal identity is self-consciousness. Rest is all relative. Even you yourself, you bathe twice in Madras. Suppose you go to, what is that place? Badrinath. Even in Badrinath, Raval also doesn't bathe for a few days. He may be bathing, but the clothes are same. He is not a governor, has 20 pairs of clothes. Same old clothes, put it on, because it doesn't sweat. But all that muddy, even all that purity and holiness, that whole thing goes for a shiksha if he comes back to the Madras. How can I put the same dress? 3 times bath in a day. Eat this, don't eat this. All these things should be there. Think, friends. So whether you like it or not, relative considerations will be there. Dharma, adharma. Satya, anruta. What is truth, what is falsehood, please. And that must be maintained for our easy transaction in the world. If everybody goes on the left side of the road, that becomes a rule. Should not go on the right side of the road. Because some people know, as I go as I like, you go, what will happen? Dhaka, there will be accidents. Same thing, social conditions. Everybody can marry as many as they like. Everybody can stay single, must stay single. Everybody should have this type of food. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Before this transportation came, when you go to Europe, their shopping center, vegetables from around the world is filled there. You can eat anything. Oh, Indian food is available? What Indian? What the Indians can get in India, will get it there. Because now, all over the world, every type of food is always available. But there are people also, places where inaccessible. What I am telling, friends, is these relative considerations shall be there and vary. Therefore, religious customs, religious traditions also will vary. Now, what will not vary is you, the individual. Your concept of gods will vary, because each one according to his own imagination. Somebody nature worshipper, somebody ancestor worshipper, somebody this form, that form. Because you, whatever you see, from that you decide. Whatever you see, hear, touch, taste, smell, you divide them as good and bad, divine and mundane. You don't know about yourself. A tradition which has got an insight from the outermost to innermost. Outermost physical universe, elemental universe, to the physical body. I cannot see what is inside the mountain Himalayas. I shall not see what is inherent in an atom. But when I look at my inside, my body, not only inside the body to develop the medical science, but also inside my perception, my sensation, my thought, my Ishvara, thought universe. I am the resident. How do I move about in my thought universe? With what do I see everything? There are no eyes inside the head. There are no ears inside the head. There is no tongue or nose or the skin inside the head. How do I know everything? The knowing principle, consciousness. So I begin from the outermost, the grosser than the grossest tangible universe, ends up in the intangible, subtler than the subtlest. Sukshmat sukshmataram nityam, subtler than the subtlest. So in me, universal, all-pervasive, pure consciousness existence. Also my body is existing in an inert universe. So simultaneously, you are conscious, aware, not only of yourself, the awareness, but also aware of all your thoughts, perceptions, sensations, gross body, and the gross universe, continuously changing. Continuously changing universe, continuously changing mind, yet eternally changeless reality that I am. So, to live in the relative world, you need relative values. And it should be, listen carefully, it should be, don't say universal, you can't say universal. It should be local. I don't know how to tell you. Europe has to have a different dress sense. Eskimos have to have a different dress sense. Africans have to have a different dress sense. Bedouins have to have a different dress sense. Even in India itself, the Northeast will have a different dress sense. South India will have a different dress sense. Food depends on the availability. Depends on the availability. Don't say vegetarian food is a very holy fellow and non-vegetarian food is absolutely useless. No. Hitler was a vegetarian. I don't think even any single person would like to be Hitler. Not that therefore everybody should eat. Why should everybody eat it? Drinking is a need for the European person. 6 months everything under snow, so they have to drink it. Those are the days that here begins. Here, every day it is hot, pure water is flowing. What are you drinking it for? This is imitation. Who does it? I. And when he is told you should not drink, he is more interested to drink. When he is told you should not do that, that's what he does. He shall bring the logic also. In Europe, when you go there, we have a different lifestyle. We. The fool is born in some stupid village somewhere in Asia, Africa, or somewhere. And when the European comes here, he doesn't want to have a bath. Why? Because there he doesn't bathe. There you are inside the, deep freeze. You don't have to bathe. Come here, bathe. And here you have to have bath 4 times because it's so hot and sweat and all that, sticky. That you don't go to Europe and also 3 times bathe. Then you are typhoid and dead. Do in Rome what the Romans do. When in Rome, do what Romans do. Meaning, wherever you are. Imagine, suppose you put on this dress, just think of like a free thinking, friends, just see that. I must put on this dress when I go to Alaska. What will happen to me? And the person who comes, puts on top to bottom, inside packed also, comes here with all that packed up things, he comes here. Now, what will happen to him in the Madras heat? We need, friends, overhauling. So when you go to relative things, it has to change, and especially when it comes to understanding about yourself, you must clearly see you have many, many relative considerations and only one absolute reality. And these relative things will go on changing from where you are, in what time you are, in relation to whom you are dealing. But if you are stuck in a particular way, this is how I shall be everywhere, you shall have a conflict. You come to India and you say, there should be dedicated road for the Europeans in India. You go to America and you say, the dedicated roads for the Indians in America. What will happen? Whichever country, whatever thing, everything should be in every other country. Is it possible, sir? Understand, relative things will not change. This is a beautiful statement coming. Relative things will not change, they shall be continuously changing. And friends, when you say you want to get rid of the conditioning, understand, please think for yourself, no conditionings must change, no thoughts must change, no practices must change. You change, you drop out. Then wherever you go, according to that place, you change. Because you are not supposed to drink, therefore all the drinks should be thrown out into the world. So even the countries who need the drinks also should throw it away. You change. What food you want? Food is not a mistake. Dress is not a problem. Food is not a problem. Creation is not a problem. Perception is not a problem. Thoughts is not a problem. Consciousness is a problem. I is the problem. What the conditioning does? Instead of helping the I, this is the ultimate. With that I shall stop. Tomorrow maybe we shall see if for something. Tomorrow, any other time. Instead of changing this I, helping him to understand who you are, this I thought is sheltering, having its own nest, living inside every perception, every thought, every idea, every what? Notions. And this I is desperate to change all thoughts, all habits, all rituals, all perceptions. Itself doesn't change. Are you getting that point, sir? Who gets into conflict in life? You or your car? You, your body? You, your thoughts? The I thought, individuality, grasp it. Or else you shall be idiot like a city down there and say, I am a holy man. This fellow is a soldier. This man is a politician. For God's sake. You be yourself. There shall be million varieties of social customs, political establishment, religious thinking. That shall be there. Which one you should take? Which gives me complete picture. There will be many traditions which will have very limited picture, but they think that is complete. Let them be there. Why should they change? But I don't want to participate in that. I will not condemn it. That is why more the world opens up, more our awareness of the world expands, we should be open enough to know that all these, in this field of knowledge, what is something which gives us the maximum, or rather gives us all the standpoints, relatives, all the relative standpoints, as well as the absolute standpoint. Don't say, in our definition of absolute is different. No. You don't have that luxury. Absolute cannot be defined in many different ways. It is indefinable. Relative things can be done. But because my way, highway, no good. Even in your own family, people will not think exactly as you are thinking. But who you are, who they are, is one and the same. It's a very beautiful thing, friends. You shall understand the beauty of it only if you recognize. Close your eyes. What is relative dimension in me, and what is my absolute dimension? What I have is a relative thing. Riches, poverty. Listen carefully. Can I say riches good? Riches can be a blessing. Same riches can be a curse. Poverty can be a blessing. Poverty can be a curse. So if you say religious means renunciate, you will have a lot of conveniences, also a lot of inconvenience. If you say riches means prosperity, you will have a lot of conveniences, lot of inconveniences, because they are relative. If you go on speaking the truth, you will have a lot of conveniences and a lot of inconveniences. If you tell a lot of lies, you will have some conveniences, but a lot of inconveniences. Nobody can believe you. If you say this particular habit of drinking or smoking or eating is absolute, you will have some comfort, some discomfort. If you say helping somebody is good, you will have some comfort, but sometimes you will be thoroughly disappointed that you helped somebody, because that is the person who killed you. If you say kindness is good sometimes. Cruelty also pays sometimes. Love pays sometimes, hatred also pays sometimes. Listen to your life, see your life. Love does not win always. Hatred does not suffer always. Your doubting somebody doesn't always make you problematic. Believing somebody doesn't make you always wonderful. Everything has got a place, friends. You call it love, hatred. suspicious, believing somebody, helping somebody, not helping somebody. Everything has plus minus points. Dharma, good things, very nice. Adharma, also very certain times, it looks like adharma, but it's very nice. It helps you. Think. Satya Anuruta. That is why you just see that monkeys, Bura mat dekho, don't see anything wrong. See covers the eyes. Don't speak anything wrong, covers the mouth. Don't listen anything wrong, covers the ear. What will happen? If you cover your ear, you won't listen anything bad, but you will not listen anything good either. If you cover your eyes, you do not see anything bad, but you won't see anything good either. If you don't speak, of course you will not speak anything bad, but you will not speak anything good either. So this is either or, becomes difficulty. No, the wisdom is absolute. Choose to keep your eyes open and close your eyes. Choose to keep your ears open and close the ears. Choose to speak, choose not to speak. Help sometimes, not necessary to help all times. And what is the purpose? This is your test. Do not depend upon helping somebody for your happiness. Then you will be miserable if the other person doesn't recognize your help. Do not do something, create problem for somebody to be happy. Because if that somebody by himself becomes wonderful, you shall suffer. So the root is come back to yourself. Absolute. Your action comes out of a happiness, fulfillment, wisdom that you are. I'm happy with myself, happy to provide something which the person needs. I cannot, it doesn't matter. Or I cannot satisfy his unreasonable demand. Every time you don't have to help, every time you cannot create inconvenience. When you are happy with yourself, you know exactly when to be there when you are wanted and not to be there when you are not wanted. If every person becomes like that, it becomes so beautiful. You do things not for your satisfaction, but in the process, if everybody can be helped. Then you shall accept every person for who they are. A child's ignorance is not my ignorance, but I live with it so the child can grow. It begins with your first name, then goes on and on and on until the I becomes strong and the I gets tired of all those conditionings. In the beginning it might have enjoyed telling lies wonderful, but then it discovers telling truth also is sometimes wonderful. Telling lies is inconvenient, telling truth also is inconvenient. And this I gets tired, wants to go beyond both. Helping is destroyed, not helping is destroyed. He wants to go beyond both. That is the time the I itself will rebel against the relative considerations, must see himself as he is, which is not a name, not a perception, not a sensation, not an identity, not a thought of any kind. So the conditionings are healthy conditionings. Everything is beautiful in its own place. So friends, You cannot attempt to remove and throw away all these conditionings, suggestions, values. You cannot. You withdraw. And then you shall discover the same thing which is very nice sometime is also useless some other time. Always you can't smile, nor can you be rude always. You cannot just love. Sometimes hatred also is part of love. I hate you because you don't love me. So beautiful. So in hating you, my idea is, you please love me, then I will not hate you. Anyway, friends, ultimately you don't depend upon somebody's love or hatred. You love yourself for who you are. You are happy yourself with who you are. Then all the relative standpoints, they remain where they are, but you don't feel affected by that. The speech is nice, but continue to speak will make you bored. Not to speak is nice, but if you don't know how to think, it is not good. But one thing is absolute. Yourself always a blessing. That is why just two references I shall give. I know it's a long time gone. Nachiketas asked Yamaraj, Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat, yat pashyasi tadvada. Please tell me who is that something which is beyond dharma and adharma. Because I know adharma, insensitivity, torturing people doesn't pay, but helping people also doesn't pay. Can you take me beyond both? Arjuna asked the same question. Yat sreyasyat nishchitam bhuitan me. Don't say this is also good, that is also good. Helping also good, not helping also is good. Fighting also is good, not fighting also is good. No, I am tired of this. Because sometimes I have seen being rich is nice, but much more inconvenient. Being poverty is difficult, but less responsibility. So both have their blessings as well as both have their inconveniences. Tell me what is the thing where I will not be affected either by blessing or a curse, prosperity or a poverty, pain or pleasure, love or hatred. Because sometimes love is a headache as much as hatred is a headache. Cruelty is painful as much as kindness is painful. Take me beyond. All the students of Upanishads have asked for it. Like Lalita Sahasranam. Dhyanam dhyatru dheya rupa dharma adharma vivarjita. O Mother, you are all meditation, only one thing absolute. Dharma adharma vivarjita. There is no right and wrong. Nobody starts with that. You start with something right, something wrong, to make life convenient, universal law. But then you discover, even if you are nice all the time, still you suffer. Of course, when you are insensitive, you will also suffer. But niceness, kindness doesn't solve your problem. So tell me what is the best, the absolute. That is why absolute is unconditional and is not a conditioning. Speak this way, don't speak this way is a conditioning. Love all, hate none is a conditioning. It doesn't work, it will not stand. But try your best. It is better to love than to hate. Sometimes better to hate than to love. For everything there are other people. But once you are with the Absolute, who you are, unconditional, no conditions apply. For you to be happy, immortal, all-pervasive, no conditions apply. Then learn to choose, and choose to live with anything that you choose. Nothing takes away the bliss, the fulfillment, happiness that you are. But such a person will not do deliberately something to hurt people, affect people. You help them to understand themselves. That is the absolute knowledge. And it is not a conditioning. But you can't escape conditioning from childhood. But soon you'll be tired of it, of this knowledge. Very simple thing like this. Talking for a long time is good, or 10 minutes is nice. Sometimes 10 minutes is good, sometimes 1.5 hours is needed. But silence is always good. Silence means what? Not silence. Your self-consciousness, always good. Which it will have all the thoughts, is comfortable, no thought, comfortable. All the speeches, comfortable, no speech, comfortable. If you are with yourself, you can suffer or enjoy everything. That suffering and enjoy, they lose their barrier. The shade goes away. Everything you enjoy. As it is, everything is nice. Convenience is wonderful, inconvenience is wonderful. Sometimes convenience is better, sometimes inconvenience also is better. You feel hungry, then suddenly one good food comes. You say, good that I was hungry, You have eaten so well, so nice, but immediately some best food comes. What do you say? Cheh, why did I eat? This regret will not be there for a person who is totally unconditioned. No regret. At all times, all places, all conditions, you are happy with yourself, blessed. Name it God if you choose. And that also is not a relative thing. We shall see that later sometimes. Thank you. Just see that. Any difficulty, please write me questions and write down here. So we can discuss more on this topic. It's a never ending. So many points I thought I'll write. Maybe tomorrow, maybe sometimes we'll see that. Thank you. Namaste.